أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So today the time is the date is October 9th, 2025. The time is 10:48 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on my side of the world. We have with us Muhammad Hameez. He is going for his Diploma in Cloud Cybersecurity exam, EduQual Level 3, RQF Level 3. Uh, the topic that he has today is ISO 27032 and ISO 27018 for cybersecurity and data privacy in telecommunication sector on AWS and IBM Cloud. There are three key learning objectives. The topic addresses the security, the cybersecurity, and the privacy on how to secure telecommunications data hosted on AWS and IBM Cloud. There are specific three key learning objectives. The implementation of ISO 27032, 27018, and some other things. My name is Mohammed Faisal. I am one of the senior examiners at Nafi, and today this is going to be a level 3 exam. For the presentation, you will be given minimum 15, maximum up to 25 minutes to go through the topic. For the Q&A, you'll be given minimum 30, maximum up to 45 minutes. So the whole exam can be completed within, I would say, 45 to 60 minutes, give and take, right? Okay. Do you have any questions before we start, Muhammad Hameez?
No, sir. No,
Okay.
sir. Not at all.
You may share your
I'm
screen
ready.
please, before we start.
Can you please confirm that the screen is visible?
It is loading on my side.
Okay.
Yes, I can see it. Okay.
Okay.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You may start now.
Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mohammed Hameez Khan. I am a student of Al Nafi International College, and I'm pursuing EQF Level 3 Diploma in Cloud Cybersecurity. My topic for presentation is ISO
RQF,
27.
not EQF. RQF.
RQF. Okay,
Yes.
sorry.
EQF is European Qualification Framework in
Yeah,
Europe. Yes, it is
I'm really
equivalent to
sorry.
that as well, but this is RQF.
Yeah,
You have to say RQF. Go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I'm so sorry. IQF Level 3 Diploma in Cloud Cybersecurity. My topic for presentation is ISO 27032 and ISO 27018 for cybersecurity and data privacy in telecommunication on AWS and IBM Cloud. So this is the table of contents. Firstly, we will be understanding the standard ISO 27032, followed by ISO 27018, standard, and so on and so forth. ISO 27032 is crucial for organizations aiming to combat internet security threats effectively. This standard addresses common internet security threats such as social engineering, zero-day attacks, and hacking. It offers guidance on managing these risks through both technical and non-technical control. The standard emphasizes on preparing, preventing, detecting, and responding to cyber attacks. It includes guidance on roles, policies, methods, and technical controls to ensure robust internet security. Organizations using the internet should adopt ISO 27032. It provides industry best practices and education to help stakeholders actively address internet security challenges. The standard focuses on preserving confidentiality, integrity, and availability. It also addresses authenticity, accountability, repudiation, and reliability, which are vital for secure internet operations. This standard outlines the relationship between internet security, web security, network security, and cybersecurity. It provides a comprehensive overview of internet security and its importance. Key stakeholders in internet security includes user coordinators, standardization, organization, government authorities, law enforcement agencies, and internet service providers. Each play a crucial role in maintaining security. ISO 27032 also guides organizations through internet security, risk assessment, and treatment. It covers identifying threats, vulnerabilities, and attack vectors to develop effective security strategies. Implementing cybersecurity control involves putting in place technical and organizational measures. To protect information assets from threats, this step is vital for maintaining security. Conducting cybersecurity training and awareness program is essential. Employees should be trained on best practices and the criticality of cybersecurity within the organization. Maintaining and evaluating cybersecurity measures ensures their effectiveness. Regular assessments help organizations adapt to the evolving threat landscape and maintain robust security. Responding to cybersecurity incidents requires a well-defined incident response plan. This plan should outline steps to take in the event of the security breach to minimize impact. Continual improvement of cybersecurity measures is necessary. Organizations should review and enhance their security strategies based on emerging risks and changing threats. Now, moving on to the ISO 27018 standard. ISO 27018 requires cloud service provider to be honest and clear about how they handle personal data. They must tell you what data they collect, why they need it, and how they use it. No hidden data collection, tracking, or unauthorized sharing of your information. Customers should have access to terms and conditions that clearly explain data protection policy. User control. Cloud users should have control over their own personal information. This means you should be able to access, update, or delete your data upon request. Cloud providers cannot use your data for advertising or marketing without permission. Your data must be completely removed when you close your account. Security measures. It requires strong security controls to prevent unauthorized access, cyber attacks, and data breaches. This includes encryption. Data must be scrambled and unreadable without the proper key. Access control. Only authorized people should be able to view or manage personal data. Regular security checks. Cloud provider must conduct ongoing risk assessment to stay ahead of threats. Data minimization. Enforces the principle of data minimization, meaning cloud providers should only collect data they truly need. No unnecessary data collection just in case. Data should only be kept as long as it's needed, then securely deleted. The less personal data stored, the lower the risk of exploits and breaches. Data breach alert. You must be informed if something goes wrong if a cloud provider experiences a data breach where personal data is exposed. They must immediately assess the impact, inform the affected users as soon as possible, take actions to fix the issue and prevent future breaches. Agreement with privacy laws. Cloud provider must follow regulations. ISO 27018 ensures that cloud service providers align with privacy laws around the world. This helps them comply with GDPR Europe, protect personal data of European Union citizens. CCPA California gives consumer control over their personal information, and HIPAA USA protects healthcare-related data. Now we are going to see the basic criteria of ISO IEC 27032 and 27018. The purpose for ISO 27032 is to provide guidance for enhancing overall security in cyberspace. The scope of ISO 27032 is broad, addresses cybersecurity risk across the internet, cloud computing, etc. The nature of ISO 27032 is only to provide a guidance or framework. Keep that in mind that it is not certifiable. However, the key principles of ISO 27032 is stakeholder collaboration, risk assessment, incident management, and security awareness. The core function are provide a strategic framework for managing cybersecurity risk. On the other hand, ISO 27018 purpose is to provide a code of practice for protecting personally identified information in public cloud services. The scope is, as compared to ISO 27032, is narrow, and it focuses exclusively on personally identified information protection in public cloud environments. The nature is an extension of the certifiable ISO 27001 standard. It is basically an extension of 27001 standard, and this can be certified. The key principles are personally identifiable information controller versus personally identifiable information processor, consent, data deletion, transparency, breach notification. And the core functions are that it provides specific, granular and auditable controls for personally identifiable information building on ISO 27001 security framework. Now moving forward to telecommunication navigating through an unusual threat landscape. The telecom industry faces a specific and evolving set of threats that are uniquely tied to its role as a critical information infrastructure provider and a custodian of vast amount of sensitive data. Understanding these high impact threats is a first step towards building a resilient security posture. Telecom networks are prime targets for attacks designed to disrupt services and steal sensitive data. Given their role in enabling communication and commerce, these networks are a higher value target for cyber criminals. A successful attack can lead to severe financial losses, extensive reputation damage, and widespread services disruption of millions of users. DDoS attacks orchestrated by a multitude of malware-infected machines are particularly concerning as they can render critical service inaccessible, bringing operations to a standstill. Modern telecommunication relies on an intricate multi-layered supply chain of third-party vendors for hardware, software, and services. While this model enables greater agility, it also introduces a significant security risk. A vulnerability within a single external entity can create a cascading effect, compromising the entire supply chain and exposing confidential customer data or disrupting core operation. Malware and ransomware, the telecom sector is a growing target for these attacks, which can cause widespread service disruption and affect a large number of people. The sophistication of these attacks is constantly increasing, with advanced techniques like encryption-based malware making them more challenging to detect and prevent. The sensitive nature of the information handled by telecom companies, coupled with the legitimate access granted to employees, contractors, and other authorized users, makes the industry particularly vulnerable to insider threats. Whether through deliberate malicious actions or unintentional negligence and poor security habits, an insider can compromise subscriber data, duplicate SIM cards, and leak or steal confidential information. The weight of data privacy and regulatory compliance. The regulatory landscape is global and diverse. Key example includes General Data Protection Regulation in the European Union, the California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA, and the Digital Personal Data Protection Act, DPDPA in India. These regulations impose rigorous requirements for data handling, mandating explicit user consent, strict data breach notification, and the appointment of dedicated privacy officers. Meeting these mandates require a substantial overhaul of operation processes and significant financial investments in technology, personnel, and governance. This involves comprehensive data mapping to understand where data is stored and how it flows through the organization, as well as the implementation of robust security measures like data encryption and anonymization. Furthermore, compliance demands a company-wide cultural shift towards data protection, ensuring that all employees are trained in best practices and understanding role in safeguarding information. Now let's discuss about the AWS services. AWS provides a vast, continuously audited infrastructure and an extensive suite of security services that empower customers to meet their compliance requirements. The provider's compliance certifications allow customers to inherit many controls, thereby reducing the scope and cost of their own audits. AWS offers a comprehensive ecosystem of services that aligns with ISO 27032's guidance for risk assessment and governance. Services like AWS Security Hub and AWS Audit Manager provides continuous visibility into security postures and help automate compliance assessments by collecting and organizing evidence. For incident management, Amazon Guard Duty, Amazon Detective, and Amazon Shield provide automated threat detection, investigation, and DDoS protection. To enforce access controls, AWS Identity Access and Access Management, Amazon Cognito, and AWS Key Management Services are central, helping implement the principle of least privilege and secure data. AWS offers a comprehensive ecosystem of services that align with ISO 27032's guidelines for risk assessment and governance. Services like AWS Security Hub and AWS Audit Manager provides continuous visibility into security posture and help automate compliance assessment by collecting and organizing evidence. For incident management. Amazon Guard Duty, Amazon Detective, and Amazon Shield provide automated threat detection, investigation, and DDoS protection. To enforce access control, AWS Identity Access Management, Amazon Cognito, and AWS Key Management Services on Central help implement the principle of least privilege and secure data. Now, as I was preparing my presentation, I come across a couple of these case studies which were similar to my agenda. The case studies are on XL Axiata, which is an Indonesian telecommunication company, and Hameez, which is an Australian mobile virtual network operator. XL Axiata, an Indonesian telecommunication company, transformed into a cloud-first telco by establishing a cloud center of excellence with AWS and creating an AWS landing zone. This provides a foundational baseline for identity, governance, and data security from the very beginning of their migration journey. By leveraging a microservice architecture on Amazon Elastic Kubernetes Services and Amazon EC2, they significantly reduced provisioning time, accelerated innovation, and achieved an estimated 30% in cost saving. Similarly, the Australian mobile virtual network operator Hameez achieved a 75% reduction in compute cost and improved resilience by migrating to Amazon EC2 Spot instances and Amazon Elastic Container Services. This example illustrates a critical shift for a modern telecom company. Achieving business objectives like cost optimization and agility is fundamentally enabled by a security and compliance-first methodology. This is basically a cloud security posture management of AWS, which provides us how AWS basically manages the security within the cloud. So IBM Cloud, the solution for the regulated telecom industry. Basically, IBM Cloud distinguishes itself through a strategic focus on highly regulated industries, including financial services, healthcare, and government. Instead of competing broadly, IBM has covered out a profitable niche by positioning itself as the trusted hybrid cloud provider for enterprises in regulated industry. This strategy leverages IBM's deep consulting expertise and long-standing reputation for trust and security. IBM Cloud offers a suite of security services built on secure engineering practices and a multi-layered security approach. The IBM security and compliance sector is designed to help customers centrally manage security, risk, and compliance to regulatory standards. This prescriptive approach is tailored to the rigorous demands of sectors where security and compliance are paramount. IBM is certified for ISO 27018 and has implemented a privacy information management system under ISO 27701 for its virtual private cloud platform as a service and software as a service offerings. Key services like IBM Cloud Backup, block storage, and object storage are certified for ISO 27018, and services like IBM Cloud Key Protect provide robust encryption, key management to safeguard sensitive data. This basically is the cloud security posture management of IBM Cloud. This is how IBM basically makes sure that the data that is in the cloud is secured according to the ISO 27018 standard. Now, according to both of the ISO standards, these are basically how we try to distinguish between AWS services and IBM cloud services. In accordance with the risk assessment, AWS basically provides us with the AWS Security Hub, AWS Audit Manager. In the cases of access controllers, AWS Identity Access Management, Amazon Cognito, and AWS Key Management System plays a vital role. For the data encryption, AWS Key Management System, S3, EBS, and encryption features are provided by AWS. Threat detection is done through Amazon Guard Duty, Amazon Detective, and AWS Shield. Incident response is taken care by AWS Security Hub, AWS Shield, and AWS WAF. And for the data detection, we have S3 Object Lifecycle Management, Dynamo Database, TTL, EBS, and EFS detection. For the IBM Cloud Services, the risk assessment is taken care by Security and Compliance Center, whereas the access control is taken care by IBM Cloud Key Protect and IAM tools. Data encryption is done through data encryption for data at rest and in transit in IBM Cloud. Threat detection, incident response, and data deletion are done by Threat Management Services, IBM Guardian, and IBM Cloud Backup, block storage, and object storage. Now, basically, there are 3 steps in order to implement our telecommunication company on AWS Cloud or IBM Cloud. So the first step is basically establishment and administration. The initial phase must begin with a thorough risk assessment and data mapping exercise to understand what data is held and how it flows through the organization. A clear cloud governance strategy must be defined, and a cloud center of excellence should be formed to enable a security by design mindset and to manage the shared responsibility model effectively. This establishes the organizational structure and cultural framework necessary for long-term success. Once the foundation is in place, the technical implementation can begin. This involves deploying the foundational cloud security services such as robust access controls, IAM, encryption for data at rest and in transit, and continuous monitoring and logging. These controls must be aligned with the specific requirements of ISO 27032 and ISO 27018, leveraging a certified infrastructure and service provided by the chosen cloud vendor. Compliance is not a one-time audit, but a state of continuous readiness. The final phase involves moving beyond the manual checks to a culture of continuous monitoring, testing, and improvement. Regular vulnerability scans and penetration testing are essential to identify and address weakness before that they can be exploited. Automation tools are critical for tracking compliance in real time and for demonstrating audit readiness, transforming the compliance function from a manual administrative burden to a proactive and strategic risk management capability. thank you. This is from my side. This is the end of the presentation.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. So, Muhammad Hameez Khan,
Yes,
right?
sir.
It's okay, you wrote in your diploma EQF. It is equivalent to EQF. They all
Yes,
align
sir.
with the same EQF, RQF. Are you planning to go to Europe? That's why you have written it like that?
No, sir. Actually, I misread it. It was RQF, as you just told me, as you just corrected me. I wrote it EQF in a hurry, actually.
Was that okay? Because if you go on the main website, right? If you go on the main website of, you can stop the sharing of the screen.
Okay.
If you go on the main website of the qualification can cross boundaries, this is a document by the QAA.ac.uk. You will see that EQF is the European qualification framework. So level 3
Yes, sir.
of RQF is equivalent to level 4. So you're doing this,
Right.
right?
Right.
And in your resume, you wrote down level 6, which is your degree that you did your from Mehran University, right?
Yes, sir.
So I wanted to ask you, you did your degree from Mehran University. What did you learn?
Sir, I did my bachelor's in telecommunication engineering.
Okay, so was that very helpful for you to understand telecommunication engineering? What kind of
Uh,
experience?
yes, yeah, you can say that. Actually, I had courses that were basically were in alignment with my presentation. You can say that. Yes.
No, I mean, you are 20 years of age, right? You're 20 years old, right? 28,
Yes, sir.
right? So the person who's sitting here, he passed his, she's, how old are you?
I would be 21 next month, Faisal bhai.
He would be 21 next month, right? So he's going to LSBU, London South Bank University, to do his master's program, right? He completed his exams and then he applied and then he was given an opportunity to work at a Nafi, right? So now he's working in the marketing operations center team. He's a product guy. You give him an idea, he will create the product on AI, right? He completed his O level, then he went for his AI ops, took some break, then he did his AI ops, and I think he was the fastest one to complete, which was like 5.5 months, 6 months. She's
Yes, 5 months and 7 days.
5 months and 7 days. He's very smart, mashallah. Very intelligent, right? So 21 years of age, he's going for his master's, right? You are 28 years of age. So if there is
Yes.
a time machine and you have to go back, what would you tell your future self to do?
Uh, Nothing actually. Everything happens for a reason, actually.
No, I mean, if you have a time machine and you go back and say, okay, and you go back and say, like, Muhammad Hameez, I'm you from the future, right?
Hmm.
And I'm coming from 2025 when I did my diploma from Nafi. And you are doing your degree right now. You're about to take admission and degree. Don't take it. Will you just say, don't take it? Or will you just say, yeah, go ahead and do it? And I will see you in a couple of years down the line. How would you deal?
Well, basically, I am a very stubborn person. Anyone would have said anything, and I would have done the thing that I want to do. So
Really?
I wouldn't have listened to anyone. So
To you, this is the thing, right? Mashallah, you're a Muslim, Muhammad Hameez, right?
yes, sir.
In Islam, you have to read the lives of the prophets and the messengers to build up your personality like them, not like the stubbornness, right?
Yes, sir.
Abu Jahl was a very stubborn person. He knew it was the truth, but he never followed it, right? His
Absolutely.
son, Ikramah bin Abi Jahl, accepted Islam and he got martyred, mashallah. Walid bin Mughira was a very stubborn person, right? He never followed Islam. He was used to make mockery out of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. It is mentioned in the Quran in various ayahs and the various verses, right? About about Abu Jahl, about Walid bin Mughira, and about Amr bin As' father. He was the same person. So these were some of the people, the elders of the Quraysh, right? They were very stubborn. but they never followed it, you know. So stubbornness hurts, right?
Absolutely.
First thing you have to do is to say, you know what, I will go back. Mashallah, you have a beard as well, mashallah, right?
Yes, sir.
Saw your picture in the ID and everything because I reviewed your file. So the most important thing is humility. The most important thing is take a step back and analyze what have you done. Now I'm going to ask you a question. You did your degree, right?
Yes, sir.
And you are now 28 years of age, right? If I look at your resume, right, you did higher secondary school in 2016, right? At that time, 2016, how old were you? 16?
Um,
Something like that, right?
almost 18 to 20 years.
18. 18 to
Yes,
20
sir.
years? Like, really? Okay.
Yes, in 2016, I guess 19 would be correct.
You was 19. Yes, you were 19.
Yes.
That's the doing the intermediate exam, right?
Yeah.
In 2014, you must be 16, 17, right? Right? So even if you would have done the diploma in AI ops or level 3 at that time, it would have saved you 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. 10 years. It's a long time,
Absolutely, sir.
right?
It is very.
It's a long time, right? There are people who are, mashallah, doing all of these things. I'm just evaluating the things but you still have a lot of time. The good thing is you have learned a lot, you have matured, because maturity comes with a test of time. Wisdom comes
Absolutely,
with,
sir.
you cannot learn wisdom from books. You can learn wisdom from experience, from other people or experiencing situations yourself. That's how you become wiser, right?
Yes, sir.
So I had a lot of hair, but I started losing hair. It comes, so wisdom, you receive wisdom. Alhamdulillah, whatever Allah has given me a little bit of wisdom. Alhamdulillah, right? I'm happy with that. And I ask Allah for more. So this is very important, right? Uh, you did your 2022, your degree. So what happened between 2022 and 2024 before coming over here? What were you doing at that stage?
Well, basically, I was applying for master's degree in cybersecurity. I just came to know in my final years that I should pursue a career in cybersecurity. So I was applying in various universities in all over Europe, particularly Germany and Italy. But after my research, basically, I came to realize that you have to have the prerequisites equivalent to achieve a master's degree in that particular field. So I failed to secure an admission in that. So and
Even you
that
had the
was
bachelor's degree in telecommunication, bachelor's
yes,
in
sir.
engineering, which is 4 years degree, right?
Yes, sir. Exactly.
And you were
But
not
I
able to
wasn't able.
secure admission.
Yes, basically my particular course that of interest was cybersecurity at that time, and I wanted the admission in master's degree in cybersecurity. Either the cases, either Germany or Italy. But the thing is that I was unlucky, I guess, at that time. But it doesn't matter. So
So she's an O-level student who completed his O-level, completed his AI ops. He's going to London South Bank University to do his master's in applied AI. That's the name of the course, right? MSc in applied AI,
Yes. Absolutely.
right? So if I look into it, LSBU, applied AI, right? Uh, this is the course, right? So this is the course that he's going for. Applied AI. I mean, if he would have applied in cybersecurity, he would have gotten the admission because that's how the students are getting the admission, right? So entry requirements. You need to have a bachelor's degree or equivalent in any subject, mathematics equivalent, I mean, in or English equivalent, right? He got his O level, which is metric, and then he did his AI ops. He saved all of the time, mashallah. International qualifications, select. I mean, again, you can select the country, you have to do it, right? So in Pakistan, if you come from the HSE definition, right, from the HSE perspective, it has to be entry requirements are mentioned here. like which is getting a high school secondary certificate, international baccalaureate certificate, which is equivalent to intermediate. And then undergraduate entry, you need to have something like this is for the undergraduate entry, right? For the graduate, postgraduate, you need to have 3 years bachelor's degree with 65% and above, or a 4 years bachelor's degree with 55% and above. He only had AI ops that he completed in record time, and he, mashallah, secured very high marks, right? What was your percentage, Shees?
87.
87, mashallah, right? So if you have a time machine and if you have to go back, then you have to tell your future self, don't make that mistake, right? Save your time.
Right.
Don't be stubborn. I was stubborn. And that's why I'm coming from the future to tell you, you know, there's a movie when I was a little kid in Pakistan, back in the days in 1996, 1997, there was the channel known as NTM.
Yes.
You don't know because you were born over at that time, right?
Basically, I read about it somewhere.
Right?
Yes.
So I'm 45 years now, alhamdulillah. So there was a movie, right? That I saw on the television, and it was basically this movie about this guy, who basically goes back in time, right? So I'm going to show you that, and then we're going to start the exam. So this is the
Steven Spielberg presents Back to the Future, a Robert Zemeckis film. Marty leads an ordinary life.
No McFly ever amounted to anything in the history of Hill Valley. History is going to change.
And 1985 is not his year. But Dr. Brown is about to change all that.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine? I don't get to warn you.
He's sending Marty 30 years back in time. Now he's trapped in the past,
Gotta be a dream.
about to meet
Chocolate.
his future father.
Something.
So this was a very old movie. I watched that at that time I was a kid, right? And I watched Back to the Future 1, Back to the Future 2, then 3 came out. And as they were progressing, it was getting boring, right? But the 1 was the gold standard, right? I still remember that movie
Right.
when I was a kid. And I used to watch, we didn't have a VCR in our house. Sorry, we had the VCR, but my mother didn't allow us to watch anything. So I had to go to my Khalu's house, right? So he used to get the video, the VHS tapes, and we used to sit down with him to watch the movies, right? So that's the movie Back to the Future. So when you have the time, go back and watch the movie, right? Right? So if I had the time, just like Marty, so you have to do that, okay? Because that way you can save time, because time is the most important commodity we have in this world, right? Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So let's start. What is the primary objective of ISO 27032 in the context of telecommunication?
Basically, ISO 27032 provides us with security in internet, web, and basically particularly internet if we look at into us in the framework of telecommunication. It basically makes sure that all the data is secured, confidentiality, integrity, and availability is makes certain.
Those were the keywords I was looking for, the CIA traits, the confidentiality, integrity, availability, non-repudiation, and a couple of other things. right? Those things needs to be secured and compliant. Okay. How does 27018 complement the 27032 in the context of cloud communication and telecommunication environment?
Well, basically, 27018 basically focuses on personally identifiable information on the cloud. So this is how it takes. So if, for instance, we need to combine 27032 and 27018, we would basically look for the identity access management from the 27018, and it would complement 27032 accordingly, if we
So,
have the proper key
so,
management
so for the
system.
27018, it is specifically focused on what?
Personally identifiable information on public cloud,
Yeah, right.
particularly.
So in the
Yeah.
context of Pakistan, you're in Pakistan right now, right?
Right.
In the context of Pakistan, we have the PTCL, Pakistan Telecommunication Authority, Telecommunication some Limited, PTCL. Then we have some of the other providers. Do you think these guys are 27018 and 27032 compliant?
Basically, I think yes, of course they are, and that is the only reason that they are operating in a vast range right now. But they have a very bad service of internet, that's for sure. So I must say that yes, if they basically don't shift their data on cloud. So I guess that they don't need 27018. But if we look for 27032, yes, then the data is secured. First of all, the employee's data is absolutely hidden. The CIA tried is make sure.
What about the NADRA, the body where they keep the national identification database? Are they compliant with 27001, 27032, 032, some of these 2717, 18, some of these compliance standards?
If I say about 27001, yes, then I can say yes, it is. And but there are some particular cases that we have heard that the data has been leaked or something like that, because we receive messages on accordingly scams are taking place all over the country.
Unfortunately, the NADRA database, the PTCL, all of these organizations, they pick and choose what they want to show as certification. Holistically,
Yes,
you won't find, if you go out in the West, if I give you the example of the West, or even the Middle East, you won't find the subscribers' data to be leaked on the internet.
absolutely, sir.
That happens, that company is closed, right? It's such a serious offense. So they take all the measures, like in Europe, in UK, in North America, in USA, in Canada, in South America, Mexico, and Brazil, and all these, in Latin America, all these other, like even in Latin America, all the places, and in Europe, at large, in the Western Europe, Eastern Europe, the Scandinavian countries, you won't find that. In Pakistan, the problem is that they do not have these, they do not follow the standards per se. They follow a specific scope of the standard. Say, okay, we're just going to comply this or infrastructure as a service to be 27,000 compliant or whatever. And they generally don't follow the best practices and guidelines. And that is one of the reasons that the NADRA database is available on the black market. People can do whatever they like, right? And that's one of the reasons that more and more fraudulent activities are taking place. If they put on the penalty, so that's one of the reasons. So I'm not sure about all the other things, but they're trying to do whatever they can. But again, then the corruption is very deep rooted, right? What role does IBM Cloud Key Protect plays under 27018 compliance?
So basically, it provides a security in the private and public key management systems. The data is completely encrypted and scrambled, and it is unable to be accessed without a proper key provided by the users. They cannot access the cloud until and unless they provide us with the authentic key, or they cannot, decrypt the message that or any kind of sort of document that they want only a particular user to view until he has the key to decrypt it.
So essentially, the cloud key is basically an key encryption service, right?
Yes, sir.
What does it do with data? How does it meet? I mean, where do we use these keys? There are three places that we use these keys for. When it relates to the data. Where does encryption happens? On the data. Three places. I just give you the answer.
Basically, I don't
So
remember that.
encryption happens. This is
Yes, sorry, data at rest and data in transit. Yes,
Yes.
sorry.
At
Sorry,
rest,
yes. At
in
rest and in
motion,
transit.
while
Absolutely.
being processed, right? This is very
Yes,
important.
yes,
Good,
yes.
mashallah. So I wanted to ask you, because this is the most important thing, because that's where you apply the cloud key protect services,
Cloud
right?
key protection service. Yes.
Define the data minimization and its significance in 27,018. What is data minimization? What does it mean?
So basically, according to 27,018, the cloud service providers are basically limited with collecting the information they require the most for the cloud from the customers, basically. No other data should be demanded from the customers who are going to access the cloud or going to create their account for any purposes for either individual or a company or an organization. They only provide a particular amount of data. And
What it means is basically, if I have to, data minimization essentially means collecting only the data necessary for processing and retaining.
for
It
processing,
only as long
yes,
as required. It reduces the exposure risk in case of data breaches,
yes,
and it support compliance with privacy regulations like GDPR, CCPA that you mentioned in your presentation,
yes,
stuff like that, right?
and HIPAA for health.
Yes, yes. Okay. We are getting closer. You provided a comparative analysis between AWS and IBM cloud operationalization, right? So you mentioned these different services. And there's a table, in your presentation. So if you have to compare how AWS and IBM cloud operationalize the ISO 27018 differently for telecom data privacy, how would you explain that to me? Like, how do they operationalize all these things? Both, this
Sir,
is AWS, this is IBM. What do they
yes.
do differently?
Sir, the first and foremost thing is that they provide us with the identity access management services. They monitor all the cloud data within the cloud. For instance, in the case of AWS, it provides us with the guard duty, Amazon Massey, and Amazon Inspector. All the data, when collected from them, it goes to the AWS hub. And then through the CloudWatch services, they basically check, verify all the information and keep it protected and observe it on the regular basis. This is how the entire cloud security posture management takes place. Sir, I cannot hear you.
So if an organization establishes a center of excellence, like a cloud center of excellence, how would it contribute to the 27032 implementation in our telecommunication operations?
Sir, I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
You work for Etisalat, for example, right? You apply and you secure the job, alhamdulillah, right? You go there. You have to do Al-Razak, right? Because Al-Razak will prepare you for all the things. And Etisalat has this cloud center of excellence, right? Operations. How would the CCOE, the cloud center of excellence, would contribute to the ISO 27032 implementation in Etisalat telecommunication operations?
Sir, basically, it would, make sure that the personally identified information is secured, for instance. Secondly, sir, basically, the processed data in the cloud for Etisalat is being kept protected and in a very limited quantity. For instance, if a employee in Etisalat wants to resign, his data is permanently deleted from that. So, Cloud Center of Excellence basically makes sure that the entire data of even a particular employee who is basically getting a job and resigning from the company is either added to it and removed when he leaves.
No, that's a HR control. So let me tell you how you have to answer this thing when you go for Etisalat, and they do have these center of excellence, right? A CCOE established an organization, established for one purpose, and that is governance. So a CCO establishes organizational governance, enforces the shared responsibility model, and ensures security by design. Practices are embedded in all telecommunication workloads deployed across cloud environments. That is how you have to answer. Because you will find CCOE in Etisalat, Saudi Telecommunication, all these Middle Eastern companies in Qatar and Bahrain, in Oman, UAE, all of those places. Specifically in Saudi Arabia and UAE, absolutely yes, in Qatar. Not sure about Oman, Bahrain, Kuwait. They might have it because, but I know about Saudi and UAE and Qatar. And then even in Europe side and like in UK and British telecommunication and all these Orange and Vodafone, even in Canada, right? Rogers and Telus and all of these companies and Bell, even in US, Verizon, Sprint, and some of these other T-Mobile and Bell and other providers, they all have this. So their responsibility is to enforce organizational governance, enforces the shared responsibility model, and ensures security by design. This is very important, that these practices are embedded in all telecommunication workloads deployed across cloud environments. That's what they do. That's their job. So let's talk about in case of a DDoS attack. This is level 3. You are a level 6 student. I should have taken off my gloves, but I can't do that. So there's a DDoS attack happening on telecommunication provider. Which AWS and IBM services would support compliance with ISO 27032 incident management guidelines? It's an easy one.
Basically, the AWS inspector would be able to look for the DDoS attack. For instance, in the threat detection model, it would be absolutely appropriate for AWS.
Look at your presentation and tell me the name of the services. Look at your presentation. This question is coming. I'm looking at your presentation right now. It's open here. It's a very easy question. You're securing your good marks. Don't want you to lose focus, right?
AWS Security Hub and AWS Shield for
Yes.
incident response and threat management services and IBM Guardian.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. All right. This is an open book exam. You have the presentation. You can always ask me, can I look at the presentation? Absolutely, yes, you can, right? Okay. Now, a telecommunication company, Etisalat, is using AWS EC2 and IBM Cloud PaaS platform as a service, but they must ensure that both AWS and IBM implement ISO 27032 and 27018 simultaneously, right? They have to make sure like both these clouds are implementing those standards. How would you architect a dual compliant solution, ensuring encrypted inter-cloud data exchange without violating PII localization laws?
Sir, if I have to check for prevention, detection, and response. So I would basically focus on the ISO 27032's mitigation steps, which are basically I basically forgot the steps, but the sequence was, for instance, I have to look I need to just go for the reconnaissance. Then I have to detect where the vulnerability was, and then afterwards I have to mitigate them accordingly.
No, I'm not asking you. I'm not asking you to do a pen testing. I'm asking you, not a pen. This is not a pen testing exercise. This is an exercise where you have to tell me how would you architect a dual compliant solution, ensuring encrypted inter-cloud data exchange without violating PII localization laws, right? So if you want to know the answer, we use AWS KMS, Key Management System, and IBM Cloud Key Protect that you mentioned in your presentation for independent encryption key management. Implement a hybrid VPN or AWS Direct Connect that we can use with IBM Cloud Satellite for secure connectivity, regulated data transfers, right? Because remember, these are two different data centers. Establish a federated identity system. So you need a federated. Why? Because one, identity access management powered by SAML 2.0. You can make sure that both the clouds are managed, all the people going in and out are managed by this federated identity. Just like, in provinces, there are different provinces, like there's Sindh, there's Punjab, but there's federal body. What the federation does, it manages at the federated level, right? So the federation sets up the budgets and all of those things, and then they all have to comply. The laws are set by the federal bodies, right? So similarly, the identities will be established by the federated identity access management. Then it can be integrated with AWS Audit Manager and IBM Cloud Security and Compliance Center for synchronized cross-cloud reporting, while maintaining localized key custody to comply with jurisdictional data sovereignty laws, right? That's how you do it. That was a tough one. Okay. So if you are a cloud engineer, right, cloud security engineer for a telco giant where you are, for a telecommunication client, where they are trying to migrate from on-premises to AWS.
Right.
How would you see ISO 17032 to define your incident response lifecycle? Give me 5 key requirements.
You said ISO 17032?
ISO 27032, sorry, 27032. So how would you do that?
So you're saying that I have to just shift the on-premise to a cloud, and I have to make sure that
the project is, as a cloud engineer, you have to move the on-prem data to the AWS cloud. How would you ensure that 27032, how would you define an incident response lifecycle with respect to 27032? The question is very simple. It's I call these kinds of questions catch. There's a ball that you do in baseball, right? So just like in cricket, it's a slow delivery. You look like it's coming fast, but it's a slow delivery, right? It's a very, very slow delivery. You have to recognize, right? It's very important, right? I have never in my life I've played cricket. I don't even know how to hold the bat. I've seen the cricket sitting with my friends. I have never watched the whole game. No. Highlights, yes. And I just walked away, said, I'm not interested, right? But I know the slow ball, the fast ball, because that's what my cousins used to talk about. Oh, this was a slow ball. He pretended that it's going to be a fast, but it came out slow. It's a very slow ball. How would you answer this? This is the final.
Sir, basically the first requirement would be protecting the data. That is the only thing that we should keep in focus.
So hold on. Again, you were not able to recognize it's not a fast delivery, it's a slow delivery. The question is, You are a cloud engineer for Etisalat, where they have to
Okay.
migrate data from on-prem, from the data center to the cloud, AWS. How would you use 27032 to define your incident response lifecycle? All I'm asking you is, what does the incident response lifecycle is that is defined by 27032? It defines what? Preparation, then, then, then. Five things.
So
Giving you,
basically, preparation, uh,
yes.
s-
The preparation is where you define incident classification aligned with 27032 threat taxonomy.
yes,
Then what it
right.
is next?
Preparation, planning,
Then it is detection. Use AWS Guard. We are talking about incident response life cycle. Remember, life cycle.
preparation, prevention, detection,
Yeah.
and afterwards, mitigation.
So, okay. So it's preparation, detection, containment and eradication, recovery and
Yes, recovery and reporting.
post-incident
Yes,
review. That's it.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
All right, your exam is over. I'm just going to compile the results. 3, 1, 2, 4.5. Bismillah, 3, 2, 7.5. Okay. How was the exam?
Oh, kind of tough, actually, a little bit.
Allahu Akbar. I try to make everyone as easy as possible, so that it's
Yes.
easier for everyone to follow it through, right? Okay. So in the presentation, you secured 18. Okay. So let me give you the final score. In the presentation, you secured 21.5 out of 25, which is 86%, mashallah. Okay. That is 86%. In the Q&A, you secured 18.5 out of 25, which is 74%. Okay. All right. Q&A was tough. The first 5 questions you secured out of 12.5, 11. Only lost half a point, like 1.5 points, right? The last 6 were tough. Just like I give that analogy, if I look back, again, I don't play cricket. I've never played cricket. But I've heard enough from my cousins and my friends,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Power play, oh yaar, power play ho raha hai, ye shuru mein chhakke chauke marenge, right? So you were given a power play. So you were able to do
Yes,
this.
sir.
And then after that,
It was
it was tough.
getting tougher.
Yeah, I mean, this is how I always give chances to everyone. That's the methodology. And the same thing you will find, because the physical exams will be over, the Viva, because now everything will be on the portal, right? So that thing is about to be enabled. We have been talking about this thing, and you will see it, right, in the coming months. So all in all, you secured 21.5 plus 18.5, right, divided by 50. So you get 80%, mashallah. You passed. Okay.
Yes,
You
sir.
passed well, mashallah. Okay. So here is my recommendation for you. Smart guy, mashallah. You are a telco engineer. I'm not surprised. You did 4 years of engineering, right? 4 years.
Yes, sir. 4
And you
years.
tried to
Exactly.
apply it in different universities.
And various, yes, sir.
Your GPA was good, not very bad, good.
Yes,
2.87,
sir.
right? So if I have to do that, so you secured 71%, right?
Yes, sir.
Normally, they ask for all these British universities, European universities, they ask minimum 60%. 55 to 60%, right? If I
Yes,
look
sir.
at, just, just look at basically, if I have to look here, right? You can see, right? So 4 years bachelor's degree with 55% and above. You secured 71.75. If I look at the GPA, 2.87 out of 4, right? That comes to that. So
71%.
right, 71%. That's what you had. 71.75 is 72, right? So I'm really surprised that you were not able to take the admission. You were not able to secure the admission. Well, it's okay, So this is my recommendation for you. Do the Al Razak labs. I cannot emphasize enough on what is Al Razak. In the level 3, it's a restricted Al Razak, not the best, because AI ops get the best Al Razak, right? Because they get everything, right? In your case, you are getting a glimpse of it, but it is helpful, right? It's very important. That is enough. It covers enough Linux. It covers enough cybersecurity that you should be able to secure a good job in Middle East or wherever you want to be, right? Obviously, level 3 is very low. Level 5, 4, 5, and 6 is the best. If
It
you
gets
want to
hard.
go for it,
Yes.
you should try to go for the best, right? This is my recommendation, because that way you will learn as well. But you need to secure a job faster, right?
Yes, sir.
This is extremely important for you. You need to find out, where can I secure the job? What are the jobs that are available, etc., etc. You will be given all the assistance if you do the Al Razak. Al Razak is very important. As per the terms and conditions, read the terms and conditions. They're very important for you. Okay. How many months of access is left for DCCS?
Basically, I completed my 1 year and I've taken an extra access for that for the labs purpose.
So complete the labs. Labs are very
Yes,
important
sir.
for you.
Of
If
course.
you complete the labs, Muhammad Hameez, you will be able to secure the job. First, secure the job, then say,
Inshallah.
okay, alhamdulillah, I have secured the job. Now I would like to invest further and do AI ops. Right? Inshallah.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's what you should do, inshallah. Try to pass some of these exams, right? We are becoming ISO 17024 certified soon, inshallah. It will take us 6-9 months.
Inshallah.
Long process, but we will get there. But this will help you, inshallah, to secure yourself and be at the next level, inshallah. Okay? Do you have any
Right,
questions
sir.
for me?
No, sir. Thank you so much.
अपने माँ बाप से बोलो मेरे लिए खुसूसी दुआ करें. जज़ाकल्लाह खैर.
Absolutely, sir.
इंशाल्लाह, ठीक है.
Absolutely.
If I come to Hyderabad, I'd like to have a piece of, some rabri with you and some
And the cake of Bombay Bakery.
Bombay bakeries.
Absolutely, sir. Most welcome, sir.
With some chai, inshallah. Okay? All
So
right.
absolutely. No problem, sir.
Inshallah. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.